focus that I as a Christian or Christians kind of have. Not so much. It's more of a holistic thing altogether. So the decisions and things you make in the moment have a different kind of impact in terms of the choices you might make. Your choices aren't based on how you will be judged in some kind of something later on. It's more about the moment. I've been doing just a little bit of reading about it. I'm really anxious for us to get to that one because I want to learn that too as a helping professional. I'm beginning to meet with more folks in the community, and I'm sure we're going to be having more and more in our programs along the way as time goes by, as that community grows. So these things are important. I think in general, it's a window into why a person makes choices they do. It's one aspect of how they see the world. It can even be an aspect of how they see the world because they've stepped aside from that faith tradition, right? Or maybe they had a bad experience in it, and or there's misunderstandings that they have about what things mean as a Christian or a Muslim or a practicing Jew, or what does this stuff mean, because their family was very strict or not strict enough, or in terms of their faith or whatever it is. Like, all of these things work into how a person perceives the world, how they understand it, and then kind of the choices they make and how they interpret the things that happen around them. As somebody who's working with people in the community, trying to help them through the issues that they face, this is just another clue about how you can understand them better. Because it's never about what we think a person should do, right? It's about, how do we help them, particularly within the mission, how do we help them reach the goals they want? So it's just one piece of the puzzle. It's not like the most important one, or it's not the least important one. It's just a piece. And I think that we have to really have a sense of curiosity and be open-minded to understanding what people's faith tradition means to them.
Right. And let's go over the particulars again for the event.
Yep, so it will be on April 3rd at Niagara University in Dunleavy Hall. They have an auditorium down in the main floor. It starts at 5:30, but people come at 5. There'll be refreshments beforehand and a chance to talk with people. And people will need to pre-register. They can find that information on our website. And there will be a chance for question and answers as well with the panelists after we sort of go through that process of discussing with the panel the importance of this question. What do they believe anyway?
Great. Wonderful. I also wanted to ask you about the Community and Religious Services Committee that people at home may have an interest in participating in.
This has been amazing. A number of years ago, we started a strategic planning process at the mission. We needed to, like all organizations, you got to take a new look at things. And one committee that had existed for a long time was this Religious and Community Services Committee, but it had stopped functioning many years ago. So as part of that strategic planning process, we brought it back in. Essentially, it is a committee to the board of the mission, and it's made up of community members, staff, board members, really anybody that's interested in how that sort of faith-related part of community missions, as well as things going on in the community. So through the committee, we do planning for different events. We discuss the ideas that that are being worked on within the mission. So I've talked with them a lot, got a lot of ideas and input about this particular project we've been talking about. And it's also a conduit, right, for us to get information about needs in the community and also get information about community missions out into the community. So, people bring to us things that are going on in their realm. We have a couple of, we have a teacher and a school counselor. We have a woman that is, does, she's, I forget the name of her company, but it'll come back. She's a hypnotist and does spiritual kind of healing sort of things, and works with people in those realms. And so she's brought in some ideas and some needs. We have a member who's very interested in gardening and who's helped out with our gardens a lot and at the Gardens of Compassion program that we run. So it's this a set of a setting for communication from the community and out into the community, and to just provide some overall context for the work largely that I'm doing, and make sure that it's sort of connecting with the community. Because part of my job is to do community relations around with the faith community more broadly. So it's a really exciting thing. If people want to get involved, they just need to give us a call. At the mission, they can get a hold of me, just dial the 716-285-3403, ask for Pastor Mark, and they'll get to me, and I will connect them with the chair, who is Reverend Kathy Ordaway, who's the pastor at First Baptist Church in Niagara Falls, and she's also one of our board members, and she's the chair. So, get them connected, and everybody's welcome. It's a really nice dynamic group.
And we're also looking for some waterers and different people connected to the gardens, but also some other volunteers for faith services.
Yes. So the Gardens of Compassion, our planting day is always like that first Monday in June, because everybody plants on Memorial Day weekend, but we're closed on Memorial Day, right? It was every Monday is our gardening day. So the first Monday in June, we go out to St. James United Methodist on Porter, right next to the Niagara Falls High School, and plant our gardens. We have 16 4x8 raised beds. We've been doing this for close to 10 years now, I think. Our clients come out and work in the garden, and we do we have programming that goes with it, nutrition programming, and an overall theme of caring for creation. So we'll bring in different religious traditions and perspectives, and have conversations about, what does it mean for us to care for the planet, the only planet we have. It's a great program. We have our Monday group, but we need watering all the rest of the week in the gardens. So we are looking always for people who are interested in gardening and want to come and help out. They're welcome to come on Monday and be part of that. It's open to the whole community. But if people want to come out anytime and do watering, they just need to get a hold of us again, and we'll sign them up to come out and adopt the day during the week, or a week during July or something like that, or whatever, to do watering at the garden. But we also have to get the gardens ready. So the week of May 17th, in that area there, we are going to have a couple of prep days, and one Saturday, because we got to get the dirt turned over in the gardens. We have to put in new compost. We have to get it all cleaned up and the grass trimmed off around it, and there's just a lot of stuff that goes into getting it ready that we can't do all at once with the people that come to the garden on Mondays. So it generally takes us a couple of days to do that. Sometimes we've gotten help from our tower program at the mission, where we do job training, and one of the tracks there is landscaping. Right. So we'll have some of those folks that are mainly in the Pearl Reentry program that are doing that job training come out and help get the gardens ready. But yeah, we need a lot of help for that. But yeah, it's Mondays, every Monday from 10 to 11:30 is when we garden. We garden, and then we have about a half-hour conversation at the end. So everybody's welcome to come out. It's a great time to meet with the folks that we serve. That's another big part of it, is to try and it's a community event and a community gathering for people in our adult mental health program. So it's really healthy for everybody.
Great. And then your faith services, you're also looking for some other volunteers.
We are. So I'm one person for a fairly large agency. We're going to be bringing on another part-time staff person this year, and that'll help a lot. But we still have a lot of people who like to come and do things at the mission. One of the issues is that with a lot of our programming, we have to have people, they have to be work with staff while they're volunteering. We have to have a staff person present. So sometimes we can't always accommodate that. So what I've set up is something called a Faith Services Team Leader Project. And it's individuals who would like to do something faith-related at the mission. There's a little interview process, and then we essentially run people through the background check we do for a new employee. So, fingerprints and everything, right? So to ensure safety of our clients in that way. And there's training videos for them to watch and that they can do over time. And for the first little bit, will work with us, or work with me directly as we set up what they'd want to do. So for instance, is we have a Catholic deacon who comes in once a month. It's Deacon Howard Morgan, and he brings communion. And spends time with our clients. So he'll be, each month he comes to the shelter one evening, then to our Hanson House residence in Niagara Falls, and then to Canal View in North Tonawanda. So once a month he comes out, offers communion for our Roman Catholic residents, and speaks, is there for everybody else as well. And, it can be difficult. He comes in the evening and we're single staffed, and like if the staff person can't be there just sitting with them. So having gone through this process of becoming a faith services team leader, he's now able to do that on his own, and he's gone through the process, and we have the trust in him, the clients can have a trust in that. So this is a great opportunity for that. We have a couple of staff people who do this too, where they run particular, like one of our staff persons runs a women's group once a month on the third Saturdays, and I have a couple of local pastors who, also have gone through the process, and they come in quarterly and do something. They offer, one did a meditation thing, there was a music one, and just where we can come in and have some contact with the community, with the people that we serve, and them to be able to bring in another aspect of faith and spiritual development, which really is that idea of spending time together. It's it's not about having to have a point to make. Really, the whole thing is about spending time with people, and getting to know the people that we're serving, and having them have a chance to get to know you. So if you have some time on your hands, and you think that you'd like to maybe do something related to faith and spiritual development, just give me a call, and we can discuss it and think about that process of how to get people involved. I'm still looking, I want to have about 10 total. Okay. I've got like 4 right now, so there's a little bit of space there. And it's not doing something every week. It's not even every month. Like I said, some people do something quarterly, and it's just will then be a process of keeping people up on the training things they need, and the not certification things, but like, just the information they need to be current on, so it checks off some of those boxes so they can be able to work independently of staff for those special events.
Right. Wonderful. Well, certainly out there, if anything is kind of tugging at your heart or makes any sense, we certainly would encourage you to call Pastor Mark at 716-285-3403. A lot of different opportunities to plug in here, and the first of which are coming up as we record it, at least here very shortly. On April 3rd, 5:30 to 7 is the What Do They Believe Anyway, the kickoff of that series at Niagara University's Dunleavy Hall. We hope that you'll come out and join us that day specifically, and then possibly have a chance to talk to Pastor Mark there and see what else makes sense from there.
Yeah, and if you can't make that first one, that's okay. We're going to have, it'll be available online eventually, and then we have the other ones that are going to be coming up that people will be able to join, and like I said, most of those will be online. So
great. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure.
So again, signing off today for Community Link, this is Christian Hoffman, joined today by Reverend Mark Breese. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.